What would you say if you had 4 minutes with Marcus Rutherford and Dónal Finn? Welcome to Dragonmount. I'm Kathy Campbell. Now, before we get started with the video, I first want to thank our sponsor, Tor Books, for sponsoring Dragonmount and this video, and a special shout out to our Patreon members. Now, big news, our Patreon is going through a complete reorganization. We have a lot of exciting news, features, and benefits available to our Patreon, so make sure to check out patreon.com/Dragonmount. Links will, of course, be in the show notes down below. And now for the whole reason you're here. Let's get to the interview that I was lucky enough to have with Dónal Finn and Marcus Rutherford.
How are you doing?
It's so good to see you both again. Thank you so much for taking time to do this. I'm going to start with Dónal. You are absolutely incredible in Hadestown, and thank you for signing my book back in July.
Oh, big legend. Nice to see you again. Glad you were cool. Thank you.
The UK version of Hadestown is unique in its choice to allow the actors to use their native accents. And then in contrast to that, your Matt Cawthon to River's accent is then also you have to speak that old tongue in that accent so smoothly. The parts of season 3 that I've seen show so much more extensive use of this balance. What was the hardest part about working with an accent and a completely different language?
Do you know what? I feel a little bit kind of liberated when we're working with, when the character has an accent, because I think if you're kind of thinking through like an internal monologue or something, like your internal thought process, that you hear it in a different way. So you hear how they see the world, and it's got to be different from your own voice. So you kind of start to move like degrees of separation away from yourself. So I enjoy working in accents, and also it's like normally like the accent is kind of born out of like a necessity, not just like a placement. And with this, you know, when it comes to the old tongue, I think what was great about that was we had our dialect coach Naomi Todd. I have, you know, text that's in the old tongue, but I worked with her on it. There was nothing left open to kind of like a decision or interpretation, because it felt at that point like a science, which was amazing, given that it's like, you know, this is a world of fantasy, and that we get to kind of decide these things based on what's there in the books as evidence. But like, she knew, given the way that it was written, what accent within our world it might draw from, you know, given like what consonants it uses at the start of something that is that syllable is going to be stressed and it's a K, so it might take some kind of a Russian influence or something, or this is where the verb lands within a sentence, so in the flow of a sentence, this is where you might hit, that might be the kernel, that might be where you stress if you're trying to make this point. And it was just like, you know, it's really imaginative work, and I think that's really, it was a great exercise and a great joy, like as an actor, to kind of get stuck into that and to embody it.
All right, Marcus, a lot of book readers are very excited about what is to come in this season, especially with some new cast members, including Perrin's Falcon. She is a very divisive character in the books, especially for her treatment of Perrin at times. How have you found that to play out on screen?
It's been amazing, man. I knew everyone was kind of like anticipating Faye as a character that even as Perrin, I was kind of, you know, so excited to meet. I felt like he'd met all these characters along his journey, and I felt like they'd all kind of given him something to reflect about himself, whether it be, you know, the Tuathan or Elias or the Shrinarans or like Avienda. But it kind of felt like there was someone who was, you know, almost going to sort of slap him into shape a little bit and tell him what's right. And yeah, and Isabella is incredible. She's amazing. She brings a new energy to the show, which I think is really tricky to do at this stage. Yeah, I heard, you know, some people have like, thoughts about Faye, and she was like, oh, they might not like me, all this kind of stuff, but she's incredible. She makes her so strong and so fierce, but so affable at the same time. And I think there's I think people are going to be really, really excited about that. There's, you know, this kind of big gentle giant and this little like pocket rocket kind of energy that kind of works when we were doing chemistry tests for that character. She just kind of came in and everyone was just like, yeah, this kind of just like works. And yeah, she's amazing. And I think all those kind of moments from, you know, from the books and the little kind of thing she has with the beard, I don't know, there's so much there that is so sweet and so fun to play with, that's in the Shadow Rising and the other books that hopefully all the book fans relate to.
Oh, I'm so very excited. Thank you again so much for this time. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Oh, thank you so much.
No worries at all. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that interview as much as I did having it. Those two are just so wonderful, and I cannot wait to see them in season 3 of The Wheel of Time, coming out March 13th on Prime Video. If you liked this video, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Like, share. We'd love to have you subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned and make sure to visit our website where all sorts of news and book reviews and all sorts of goodies are there all the time. Have a great day.
That's all for this episode. Thanks for sticking around to the end. As always, please subscribe to our channel and click the thumbs up button or leave a comment. We like comments, especially positive ones. If you have a friend who enjoys The Wheel of Time, tell them about Dragonmount.com and our show. Special thanks to our show sponsor, Tor Books, as well as to our Patreon supporters. If you want to learn more about how our show is made and get additional insights into The Wheel of Time, you can become a Patreon supporter. We have a lot of big plans for the show, and your contribution will go a long way to making them a reality. Be sure to follow Dragonmount on social media, and see you next time.